Welcome to the Journey Success Stories podcast. I'm Jennifer Sheffel, your host today. And today I am very blessed to have with me Rudy Harris. He is the co-founder and president of Harris Media. Welcome, Rudy.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jennifer.
Absolutely. So today, of course, we're going to be talking about his business, the journey to business ownership, the ups and downs that we all get to endure along the way, and really have an idea of what is it really like to be a business owner. So if this is the first time on the channel, welcome, first of all. But second, make sure that you like and subscribe because we want you to get notifications whenever we have a new show drop, just like this one. Plus, you're going to want to come back time and time again and re-listen to this one. So, Rudy, welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure to have you. I would love for you to really tell us about you and the business and what brought you to business ownership.
Okay. So, all right. So I've said this story about a billion times and I'm like blanking. So me and my wife, we started this business in 2011, September 1st, 2011. And it was out of necessity. We did not jump off the cliff. We pushed as I lost my full-time job roughly 5 weeks before our wedding. She had a freelance thing that we thought was good, but really turned out to be not so great once we did the actual numbers behind it. And so after I learned I was losing my job, I started reaching out to family and friends and asking them, "Are you hiring? Was your company hiring?" My father-in-law, who's a steel man, said, "Yep, we're hiring all the time." And then my dad, who worked at a mechanic shop and then eventually same place, but was a truck tire salesman, semi trucks and all that. He was like, when I asked him if they're hiring, he said, "We are, but you're going to regret forever if you don't try. You should try to do a business. You already have a little side thing going on with taking portraits of people and shooting some random weddings here and there." He said, "Just try it. You have no kids. You don't really have debt or any liabilities right now. You're going to regret it forever if you don't try." So on his wisdom and some prayer, I said, "All right, let's try it." It was great in the beginning. It was like, "Oh man, we're totally doing this." It felt like we were like instantly successful. Like day one successful. And then the first winter hit and we learned we're not so successful. We're not doing so good. So yeah, we started it purely out of necessity. We had two different sides of our business, commercial corporate photography, and then the personal side of the world. So weddings, baby portraits, family, anything. In the beginning, it was anything anybody wanted us to take photos of for the most part, within reason. But we had rent and we had to eat. So we did anything we could, and just tried and tried and tried and tried. So,
Yeah.
that's the 10,000 foot level of how we started. And it was truly, we got pushed. We still jumped because we still could have, just went and got a job or whatever. But it was scary. It still is. Every day it's still scary. I still get, I talk to entrepreneurs all the time and business owners, and it's like, "Hey, how often are you waking up at 3 a.m. still?" Like, "Oh, like 3 nights a week, like 3 a.m. Like, do I have payroll? Do I have, it's
Yes.
normal. It's a part of our life." But so yeah, that's how
Yeah,
we started. And it is.
that's a huge piece though that I want to lean into because as entrepreneurs and business owners, you're not really an entrepreneur or a small business owner if you've not had to feel the pain of, I can't make payroll this week.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do?
Yeah. And even pre-payroll, right? Where it's just the idea of like, we're just going to get a check. And maybe it's illegal, maybe it's legal. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm not smart enough to know any of it and still not smart enough. I have people smarter than me handling all that stuff. That it's the idea of, am I going to make rent?
Yeah.
And back in those days, photography equipment is expensive. In the relative terms now to where we are to where we were, I realize now that our overhead was like around 78 cents a month. Like it was like zero. Like that's what it really was.
Yes.
Not literally, but it was so much lower than it is now as we've grown. With that's come a lot of good things, obviously. But uh, just going, something broke. Oh my gosh, a piece of equipment broke. Can we replace it? It doesn't. It's going to be $300 to replace. Our deductible is $500. I guess we just don't have it now. We can afford it. Like it was that. Um,
Yeah.
how are we going to make it? So that first winter, as I mentioned, from January to like early April of that first full year. So September 1st was our first year in business, 2011. So then January of 2012, from January to early April, we grossed $300. That's it.
Wow.
So in like 4 months, 3.5, 4 months, it was only $300 ever came into our bank account for those 4 months. So whole Q1 of 2012 was $300. Our rent was $875, and we had $1,000 to our name. It was terrible, scary. We didn't have to borrow money. We just called in all of our debtors, even our landlord who I'd already rented with for years. I can give you $100. I can give you $200. I'll make it up. I know, obviously I owe you, I'm not asking for a freebie. And surprisingly, everybody, even to like the Duke Energies, they were all like, yeah, it's fine. You will owe it, but as long as you're paying something for right now, we'll not postpone, but I was shocked that that was an option. Obviously it's not forever. Can we just never pay you? But they were willing for a while. And after that, spring came around and then things started to get a lot better. And
Excellent.
truthfully, mostly been better since. There's months that go up and down, but yeah, those 3 a.m. scaries happened then and they happen now. There are different levels of scary, or even not even scary, just like, man, I wonder what's the next thing, or I wonder if that project's getting greenlit, or just even sometimes it's not even a thought. You're just so wired there. Like, I guess I'm just right. It doesn't
Yes.
happen as much now because I do have two small children, so that knocks you out. So it's like my body is like, you need to rest, and my poor wife is like, she has to rest triple because she's a stay-at-home mom now. But yeah, so it's interesting for sure.
Now you don't do photography anymore. So,
No, we do. We still
okay.
do. So yeah, our business, we have many facets. It's our creative director sort of coined it that we're the whole picture, right? So we do everything from design and branding, messaging in that standpoint, um, video and photo. So we do kind of it all. Like even a lot of our photo projects are in tandem with video. There are some that are pure photo, like if you go to Wings and Rings now and you look at the beverage menu, all those photos are us in our studio. They have another subsidiary company, Noble Chicken. It's
Yes.
chicken sandwiches and all that. All of their menu and all their product photography is all us. So we did all that. So we still do photos and we do a lot of portraiture still and headshots and all that. So the bulk of the business is video and video content, but we still do photos, but often it's that like yesterday I got back from Tampa. We landed at like 7 p.m. or whenever, and we're going up the escalator. And one of our producer editors, Mo, was with me and on the job this week, 2 days ago or yesterday, really. Um, and there's all these Saini photos right,
Yes.
going up the escalator. And she's like, "Did we do those?" I said, "Yep, we shot all those." So we still do a lot of, but every one of those is in tandem with video.
Got
So
it. Okay.
yeah,
Well, awesome.
but not we don't do like the portraiture, like babies and senior photos and weddings. We don't really do that stuff anymore.
So, what was the aha to make you pivot to get more into the video and to do it more as a combination instead of just the portraits?
Yeah, sure. So I studied video in school. My school is now gone. The government shut it down because they turned out to be kind of fraudulent. No big deal. Um, but I studied video in school. My wife studied photography, but I learned photography because they're very, very, very similar in a lot of aspects. A lot of the same theories and principles are the same. Um, Eventually, when we were doing these weddings and we were doing 48 weddings a year, which was great. It was a lot of work, but it was nights and weekends, and then all day editing and meeting and whatever. So then we realized we were always still doing the commercial stuff, but eventually we looked, 5, 10 years down the line and said, okay, well, if we want to have kids and it's us two, how would we do a wedding on a Saturday? Do we have to have somebody come here? Do we drop the kid off? What do we do? How would that work? And then we started to look at other people that we have that are still we're very close with. And not that all of them are this way, but the men and women that were in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. and they're just doing weddings. And that sounds mean just. Weddings are great. Weddings are a good economy. It's good. It's interesting. It's very
Well,
emotional, which is
yeah.
actually a lot of good. It is. A lot of the stuff we do isn't as emotional. We get to do emotional stories, but there's not this like such an emotional tie with a lot. Not all the content we do, but it's not, the Noble Chicken photos are awesome. I love doing it, but no one is like, oh my God, and crying over it. I don't know. They're pretty good. So they might have cried.
Maybe there's person.
Yes, but um, we started to look at forward thinking, meeting these men who are still in it, aren't really excited about it. And we started to get not as excited about it. And they were, I don't mention any names out of respect to them, but they were like miserable. And we're like, I don't want to end up like that. Like they were just like, I hate this. And they would openly tell us, not to their people like, we love it. But then they would tell us like, we hate this. We don't know
Yeah.
what to do. So we're like, well, we don't want to turn out like that. So then we started to strategically do several things. We started to lie to our couples, our wedding couples, and say, well, this is our side gig. We're really doing commercial, because we figured every wedding there's like 100, 150 new people, and somebody in that room is in marketing or PR or communications, right? Somebody here, or as a business owner. That actually didn't work as much as we thought it would. Um, but we started just making little strategic maneuvers. I started to say, all right, I'm going to start spearheading this side. My wife was spearheading the wedding side. We both still worked. I mean, it was always us on every shoot. But we eventually, once we said, all right, we're definitely done, my wife was phasing out the wedding side, handling all the edits and all that. And I started just making like really analytical, practice measured chess moves, to say we have to move into this. And video came naturally because I was already doing it. And I can boil it down to the exact meeting that everything changed for us. Like I've been able to do that. When I've been able to do that, it's just very evident. When it started with one physical meeting, and then it's sort of snowballed from there.
That is amazing. So,
Mhm.
where do you see the business 5 years from now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Hopefully alive. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I mean,
Absolutely.
truly, you just never. I mean, as you know, and as anybody that's owning a business that's watching this knows, every month feels like a new. Every month feels like, is this going to be every quarter feels like, is this going to be it or not? We all businesses have busy seasons and slow seasons, and sometimes the slow season feels like it lasts forever, and other times it doesn't. Um, so in 5 years, I mean, jokingly, yeah, obviously we want it to still be thriving. The thing that I get asked, whenever I have meetings or people ask me to do things like this, what are you most proud of? And it never, like, what project, right? And it never goes to a project. It's like there are projects that I love that I really think made an impact, or that it was fun, and I have good stories from them, and it was a fun time, and I learned a lot. But it is truly being able to, something that me and my wife started in our pajamas. I call us a pajama startup. Something that we started in our PJs, in our apartment in Covington. Now has, we have 10 people on staff, right? And that includes me and my wife. So there's 8 other people other than us that through their talents and skills, not anything to do with us on that side, but through something that we started, um, and that grew out of our labor and the other employees' labor surrounding us, that we're all working together. That has created opportunity for them and financial, say freedom, because everything's expensive and we're not immune to that, but some financial stability at least, and some
Yeah.
employment and 401k and that sort of stuff. So hopefully in 5 years we have more people. I've never necessarily been the one that says like, oh, we're going to be a 100-person agency, right? If
Yeah.
that happens, okay, cool. But I would still want us, regardless of where that 5 years is, whatever that finish line of 5 years, um, still to be the same quirky, fun group. And even like the premise, right? And of like, where is 5 years? What's 10 years? It's like, I'm not sure where I'm at tomorrow, right? Like, I don't know, next week looks different than today does. Um, so it's like, man, I hear that, and I just go, I don't know. I know the chess moves I'm probably going to have to make, but I don't know the of the game. And actually, I can go off on so many tangents, so you're gonna have to tell me to shut up. But
You're good.
the chess game of owning a business is that there's 2 ways the game ends. You fail or you either, well, maybe three, you say, oh, I'm done, I just don't want to do it, and you didn't fail, or you're merged, you're purchased, right? You
Right.
sell it and you move on. And so for me, like the 5 year game sound for when I hear it, it's like, so is that when I'm supposed to be done? But I've been asked that forever. Like, what's in 5 years? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't
Right.
know. We'll see. Hopefully some good stuff. Hopefully we've done some cool stuff and we've made some impact. But yeah, we are. I take it. I do think that way. I think future, but I think months versus years. I think the more immediate future than the further year. And I do think a little bit, but it's a hard question to really fully go, we're gonna do this. Like, well, I don't know. I have no
So
idea.
do you have an ambition or a goal of, I would love to be like X number of employees or X number of revenue, or to see the business grow by 30%? Or is it just truly, I'm going to take it as it comes?
Oh, well, that's a good question. So I would say 10 to 20 employees, it feels like the sweet spot for what I want. Um, Mind you, is it accomplishable for an agency to grow to be like almost large scale in Cincinnati of 80 to 100 people and still be like, no, we are still maintaining this. As you scale, it gets harder to um, deliver at the same level. When I spoke at a podcast just last week or 2 weeks ago, spoke on one that it was like our level, no matter if it's a very small budgeted project or a very high budgeted project, the level of excellence has to be here. Right? And as you scale to monitor everything and everybody, you have to have so much more, I don't say bureaucracy, but that's kind of what it is, bureaucracy in place. And then it can be a little less personable for us in the office and even our clients where it's like, hey, we sold. All right, well, we got that client in contact. Cool. We're never going to talk to them again. Leadership got it. Now you guys go run it. And the clients, not all, not everybody, and there's waves of this where it's like they don't want that. Right now it feels like we want to connect with the people that are actually going to work with us and
Correct.
not the biz dev person who sold us and we're like, we love you, and then we've never hear from them. So as you grow, that gets tougher, not impossible. No matter what the scale would be, my bigger goal beyond revenue, beyond any of it, is to maintain our level of quality while still making sure that we're quirky and personal. I'm a big dork. I mean, you can look behind. I mean, there's Ron Swanson is right there. This backpack says off to Disney again because we go like twice a year, and I love it. I'm a super nerd about it. Um, we're quirky people. The whole office is very quirky, and so am I. So I'd want to maintain that while still making an impact to the community in some way. Like a lot of the content we do, we are often gravitating towards like missions and things that are trying to help people versus things for pure sales. We do have those projects, but even those people that we have are good people, right? We want to work
Right.
with and be attracted to good
Yeah.
people.
Well, and the quirkiness, personally, I find it fun. I am
Mm-hmm.
definitely a nerd geek at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Having an accounting background, you kind of have to be.
Yeah.
But I would also say that's the authenticity of the team.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you talked about, though, is that level or standard in order to have a particular quality that you're delivering. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me a little bit about, in our audience, what do you guys do today to uphold the quality and the standard that you have set for the organization?
Yeah. Wow. I wish I could say I have a perfect system. We do not. But between myself, our creative director, our executive producer, and our post production director. Those four, as well as in reality, all of our team, right? So at an early onset for any employee that comes in, um, we are closely monitoring things, their edits, specific things that are going in and out on set. Hey, don't do that, do this. Um, that email, I don't want you to say that next time, say it like that. We are closely, but we I believe that everybody here is an adult. They
Mm.
don't need to be micromanaged. Sometimes we do, even me, like our EP who's behind this. She's not right now. She's at home today, but she'll have to monitor me. Like she runs the office essentially. She'll be like, "Hey, did you do that?" Like, I did not. So that happens too. um, but it is it is in the beginning, we say it's got to be here. And even there are certain projects that I will step in, which I don't as much anymore, just with the business scaling as we have, that I'll step in and go, no, I want to be very heavily involved in this, and I'll say yes or no, or I do want to see that one.
Yeah.
But between those four and just really every individual, they just sort of, it's kind of like if you just expect it with this scale of a team, right? That's where it's like, if I just say, no, it's got to be done like this, and there's 100 people, 10% aren't going to get it. So 10 people now are not getting it, right? And that could be client work that's going out to like, well, what did you just do? This is awful. This isn't our standards. But because we are a smaller shop and we have so many people that are talented, I mean, everybody here is talented and they all know. And in fact, a lot of the stuff that I'm watching after it's done and delivered, that this is way better than I could have ever made it, way
Yeah.
better. So it maybe it comes down to hiring, right? It's like, and hiring is a guess, and anybody that says like, no, I know how to hire right people, like, you're lying through your teeth. It's a total guess. You're totally lying, and everybody lies in their interview, so they're lying and you're lying and everybody's lying. Just shut up. It's a guess. It is totally an educated guess as much as it can be. But it is that we have just been fortunate to hire good people for many years. Like, we've had amazing talent throughout the entirety of the company as we serve people.
Yeah. We have a recruiting process, but it definitely
Mm.
starts there.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
there are ways to definitely, yes, a lot of people lie or, through
Mhm.
their teeth in that process. But then when you take them on site and really
Yeah,
see, like, what are they really like?
yeah.
There are some signs that you can definitely pick up on
Oh
in
yeah.
that process too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we 100% like on set. It is, you cannot hide on set. You
No.
just can't. And I watch it and you're like, you don't know. Can you set that up? Yeah, no, I totally can. And it's like, you're gonna hurt yourself. But you break something, break you, break the client. Just please, just let us ask a question versus assuming, because you're gonna hurt somebody. Um, but yeah, we resumes are my favorite thing to get, and I often don't really even look at resumes much. Even demo reels in our industry is like demo reels, but demo reels, I'm going to say lie a lot in this podcast. I just realized, in this talk, but those are lies. It's like, here's the 10 best shots I've ever done in my 15 years of doing this. Like, well, cool. So what? Like, show me a whole project and where you took it. What happened? What was the
Yeah.
payoff? Like, that's better than like, here's this one little thing. And that's kind of what a resume is. Is like, here's the 3 really cool things that I want you to know about me. Well, would you be willing to tell me your worst characteristic and not like, I'm too much of a team player? Like, shut up. That's stupid. But yeah, resumes, like we had one when we hired for Crohn's at VP back in 21.
Yeah.
Everybody was out of work in the industry, so I had 60 some odd interviews. It was crazy, but the amount of people that were way, not that Kearns wasn't the right choice, she absolutely was, but we had people that were way overqualified that worked in the movie industry because the movies were dead. And I was like, no, once those come back, they will. You're going to bolt. After I've trained you and brought you on, you're going to say, never mind, I'm going back with Christian Bale to film stuff. Literally, that was one of the, like, well, I'm friends with Christian Bale. Like, you're not going to like it here probably long term. That's fine. But
And now you're name dropping, but thank you.
yeah, it's awesome. Tell me about him. Can we call him? No. So yeah, the resumes, we get resumes that just so much fluff. That means it's, man, this is gonna sound mean. It's just a LinkedIn post on one page, and you're like, dude, no one talks like this. Like, in reality, you know what I mean? Like LinkedIn. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn and I post the same stuff. But you're like, this is all fake. And these words that you're using, and this is my shop, right? It's not every shop, and it's not every industry, and it's not every business, but some of them are just like, dude, you're not this person. You're probably, and if you are, you're kind of, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I get resumes and you're like, man, tell me what this means, because I don't. These are words that you obviously did like synonym for, and you Googled it. I don't know what that means. Can you tell me what that means? So I just typically don't even look at it. It's more of like, some of you, I want, you're around your workers, like your fellow employees,
Hmm.
a lot of the week. So I want to be around people that I want to hang out with and
Right.
that have like some good talent. And then because we have such good talent already here, they're going to rise you up, and then you're going to be, you know. So
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, and with the world of AI,
Hmm.
the way people do some of their resumes now, or even just bios, I mean, there's all sorts of things.
Yep.
And to your point, oh, so tell me a little bit about this, or tell me a little bit about that. And then you realize, I think these two things are completely disconnected.
Hmm.
So did AI write this, or did you write it because what you're telling me over here is not agreeing to this over here?
For sure.
Yeah,
100%.
there's
Yeah,
a
I
whole lot of
it is, and I told there was a young woman that is in her senior year of college. I forget what school she's going to, but she reached out, asked if I could have a conversation with her. She just wanted tips as she's entering the field, mostly PR. What's funny is she is getting I don't want to say it's a minor, but she's also studying entrepreneurship
ah,
in
okay.
college. And I was like, okay, so what are you doing? Like in that program, like what is it? Are you learning like accounting and stuff? She's like, no, it's like entrepreneurship. And I was like, that, and I'm not going to use the words that I used there in that phone call, but I said that is bull, because what they're trying to teach you is spirit and drive. And that is not a teachable thing. You
Right.
can't read it in a book. That's real. There's business. There's entrepreneurship is, and I said this to her, and then I'm like, dude, I need to make a T-shirt or something, or like coin this or something. I was like, it's tripping forward but not falling. Like you're
Mm,
just tripping, like you're
yeah.
just tripping every time, right? And you're not falling. And so when people are like, oh man, look at the success, the quote unquote success you have, like, dude, you must be so smart. It's like, no, look behind me. I just tripped all the way here, and somehow my feet keep catching up. I know the trips. I can tell you the trips to avoid. That doesn't make me like. I guess that does kind of make you smart. In reality, that's what wisdom is. But it's like I'm not, because there's a
Yeah.
billion more trips that way for me, and
Yes.
hopefully I don't fall. It's just tripping forward without falling. And
I love
like
that.
that's what you're teaching you. And I was like, get a different minor, do something else. But you're a senior, so you're, I don't know, you're gonna
You're already
you're
kind
gonna
of
be
done.
yeah, you're done. But
And they fed you a whole lot of nothing.
yeah, and I was like,
It
"Are you
is
doing
funny.
accounting?" Like, no. But
Yeah,
anyways,
because I'm at NKU for the
yeah,
College of Business. I'm on their advisory board. And there have been students that I've talked to where they truly are like on the job, creating their own thing and
sweet,
stuff.
yeah,
Then there have been other students that I've talked to and they have no idea. And it's all
mm-hmm,
flowery words. And I'm
mm-hmm,
like, until you can't make that payroll or you have to ask for the forgiveness, you don't understand entrepreneurship. You,
no, no, not at all. One of my good friends has a perfect blend of being able to. He's very smart, like way too smart. I joke that he like rehearses funny things to say to his wife the night before, like in case this comes up, I'll say this because he's just too fast. There's two friends I have that are actually like that, but this one, his entrepreneurial side of like the pure driven mixed with the smart and mixed with all like I'm gonna cut out that flowery stuff. I'm just gonna say it real but really smart. He is like the best. I love hanging out with him, and I also hate hanging out with him because you're like I feel like you have it way more together than I will ever have. But then he'd be like, no way, man, you do, and I was like, no, definitely not. But yeah, there is a balance. Yeah, hearing the flowery language it doesn't move me.
correct.
I
It's
hear
not
it all
moving
the
the needle.
time.
Right.
It's not moving the needle. I'm in the meetings with the corporate clients, and they say these things that you're just like, do you talk like this on the weekends? Like, genuinely, like, is this how you talk to your family? Can you just say it like a family? Like, let's just talk. Like, you don't have to say that, right? But anyways, I don't get excited about that stuff. I just want to have a real conversation. But
Absolutely.
mhm,
So, unfortunately, we're already starting to run out of time. So, I have a couple
totally
of
fine.
rapid fire questions.
Bring
Rudy,
it.
I could talk about this all day long. By the way, if you guys ever go out for beers or a happy hour or even a coffee, I want to meet this friend because I think it would be entertaining.
He's wild. He's wild. I mean, I'll just say it. It's Austin Dunbar.
Okay.
Austin, if you know Austin, he is Durham brand. He's
I
also uh, he's awesome. He's very smart, very talented, and the most driven person that's ever walked the planet. I'm pretty confident of. But he also is a partner, or I don't know if he's a partner. I'm not sure. We've tried to connect for coffee or drinks the past like 3 weeks, and we keep on getting stuff scheduled, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing. So we want to hang out because we used
right.
to. our businesses grew at the same time, which was cool, right across the street from each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
But Wenzel Whiskey, he's a part of Wenzel Whiskey as well. He did all the branding for them, but he's also like, I believe, a part owner. I don't know. He's something there. But
Okay.
yeah, Austin is awesome, and he's so funny and very smart and just a great, great hang.
Well, now I know where we're going to go. When's the
There you
whiskey?
go. Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. So let's go through some of these rapid fire questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
You're like, I think so.
Rapid fire is not a part of the Harris mail thing. It's like you're gonna get one. No, I'm just kidding. I'll do it. 2 words. 2 words or less. I got it.
All right. You ready? All
Yeah.
right, let's go. What is the key to success for you?
My wife. Can I say that?
Absolutely. It's your
It's because she's smarter than me. She's smarter than, and it makes me think of things differently. And I'll go, big decisions is still her, like her consult. So she'll like, well, what about this? And I go, yep, you're right. So my wife. That's
So did
my
you
answer.
screw up on something that you're like trying to make up for?
No, not at
I'm
all. We
playing
are.
with you.
No, no, I don't think so. It's our anniversary today, by the way. 14 years.
Yay!
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. So what is one piece of advice for other business owners that you would give?
I have so many, way too many. One piece of advice I would give business owners is um, not take your business seriously, but not yourself.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, there's not many things, there's not many businesses, short of a few, that are actually making the world spin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're all like, I don't know. And realize also you're in a pretty amazing space, even if it's bad for a moment. Like there is a lot of freedom. There's a lot of chains, but there's a lot of freedom of being an owner.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well said. So what is a book or podcast you're reading or listening to right now?
I have one. It's funny if my staff was hearing this right now, which they can't hear your question because I have my earbuds. There's one podcast that I listen to all the time,
Yeah.
and they all joke if we do a road trip, they'll be like, "What? Which one? Which episode did you listen to?" But Radio Lab is my favorite podcast of all time. It's very random. It's very in depth reporting, and it's awesome. And it's no topic specific. It's science and politics and crazy stuff all the time. So Radio Lab is my favorite, and it gets my brain moving.
Love that. That's way cool.
Mhm.
All right, so this one's a fun question.
Okay,
And since you're a Disney lover, you're going to really like this.
love
If
it.
you had a bit of pixie dust and you could choose one spot to sprinkle it over, what part of the business would it be?
When pixie dust over a spot of the business. Um, uh, let's see. I would say our creative direction and strategy. So we have started doing that recently more and more with our hire Ryan, the creative director, and we've already had that prowess, but now we have like a juggernaut kind of a mentality to it with Ryan Brain. So that rather than being just button pushers, we are now more and more becoming the people that like, hey, we want you to strategize with us, and he has brought that. I'd love to pixie dust or fuel, either one, maybe both.
Add some fuel to the fire
Yeah, for sure.
with a bit of pixie dust.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. All right, so before we get into the final question of the day, wah, 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 share with our audience how can they get a hold of you because they need videos, they need portraits, they need all
Sure.
these things for their marketing.
The design and all that. So, I mean, our website is harrismediaco.com. So, harrismediaco.com. I mean, my email is just rudy@harrismediaco.com. And then Instagram, LinkedIn, Harris Media Co. There's another Harris Media in Texas that's different. Harris Media Co. in Newport, Kentucky is us.
Excellent. All right, so our final question of the day. What
Mm-hmm.
is most inspiring to you right now?
Um, so, I'm an emotional person. But the thing that inspires me right now, truly, and as you can tell, I'm a family guy, but my kids. They are the driving factor for me now, and my wife too. But there's something when you look at the two cute little baby boys looking up at you and saying like, "Oh, now I'm not worried about my future and our employees' future, but these two
Yeah.
little kids' future." So that is the inspiration for me to drive and say, "We got to keep pushing and finding that pixie dust and finding that fuel."
Yeah. It is interesting how we ever did anything before we were parents.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't imagine life without, and I don't ever want to think about it without. And I know that I was driven and my wife was driven and but it just makes it like, and it's not to say if you can't, we struggled. We had an infertility problem for many years. So like we have full respect to people that can't or haven't, or even that just don't want. Like
Yes.
you can be driven.
Yes.
You can have the same perspectives as me. It just definitely adds. I think everybody needs to find whatever it is, if it's kids or a spouse or animal, whatever it is, it's a goal to say, I'm gonna ground myself in this because this is the thing that's gonna push me forward. It's like thinking
Yes.
of like swimming. What am I pushing? I'm pushing that wall,
Yes.
right? Those Olympic swimmers, I have to push off of the wall. What is the wall? Is that my kids? Is that my spouse? Is that my future? Is that my family? Is that a dog? Is that plants? Like whatever it is, like, and so for me it's kids and my kids.
Yeah. Agreed. Clearly, my
Mhm.
kids have driven me. Um, they also have watched me, and they've
Mhm. Oh
become
yeah.
different humans because of them watching me and
Yeah.
the things that I do. But yes,
Yep.
everybody needs to find that something or someone who's going to motivate them and have that grit in their stomach to really push them forward, and hopefully
Yeah,
with authenticity along the way.
for sure.
All right, Rudy. Well, this was a great conversation. I really enjoyed hearing your story, and I know that our audience has as well. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. So, of course, for those of you who are watching, make sure, of course, you like and subscribe because Rudy did give some really great tidbits about people lying and all sorts of fun stuff.
Mm.
So you'll
Hmm.
want to come back and listen to this time and time again. But most importantly, look up harrismediaco.com
Yeah.
because you want to get the one in Kentucky because we're here in Northern Kentucky, not in Texas, not currently anyway.
Yeah, sure, sure.
All right. Well, thanks to everyone who joined us today. And a special thank you again to Rudy Harris with Harris Media for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.